Hi, this is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to make a pocket. Now, a couple of months ago, well, I guess it's about 2 months ago, I did a series on a book of pockets, and I went through pockets A through F. And I decided, well, it's time to go back and make some more pockets because my album is still not or finished. So what I'm going to do now is another page in my book of pockets, and we will do pocket G this time. The first thing I'm doing is I'm going to put my designer paper on my page. And these pages kind of have a unusual shape. They've got a cutout in all the corners. And it will look like I have it on here crooked, but I don't, at least I hope I don't. There's an extra trim down this side, which is where I put my tape. If you will remember, the tape goes on both sides down here, and that's how it fits into the book. It goes like this. Okay, the pocket I'm going to make is a cylinder pocket, and I have some examples here. It's a long pocket, and you can put something like this in it. And here's another example. This one's made out of a map, and this can be used in a junk journal also. But we're going to make one for my book of pockets. And as I say, if you didn't get to see my other videos, make sure you go back. They all start with a book of pockets, and then it says pockets A, B, C, all the way through F. Now, this is a piece of scrap, and I'm going to cut right down the line of my music score here, which should make it straight. And this particular piece, it's hard to tell which side is up, but I think this side will be up. The first thing I want to do is distress the edges a little bit. I will be doing more distressing in a minute, but I just wanted to do a little bit around the edges. Okay. Now I have to decide what side I want to show. And I think I want the music. And this piece here is nice, but I think I want the music to show. So what I'm going to do is put the music down, the music side down, and I'm going to bend my cardstock over to about in the middle. And then I'm going to take the other one and do the same. I'm going to have to put this one over just a little further, so it'll be closer to the middle. This will go out. Now, I'm pressing it down to make the edges flat. So I'm going to look at this, and here's my page, and I look and I say, well, that's kind of tall for my page. So what I'm going to do is cut it down just a little bit at the top here. Not much. Okay. Now, the first thing I do, I need to put my glue on. I'm using this designer glue. It's called Art Glitter, and it dries pretty fast. I'll lay that down because I'm running close on my glue. I have some ordered, but it hasn't gotten here. Okay, now that I have this glued down, I'm going to fold it in half at my seam, or in the middle. Take a pair of scissors. I can use designer scissors if I want to, but this is not a very big pocket, so I'm just going to use the plain scissors. And I'm going to just kind of cut it up to the corner like this. Okay. Now, I keep it folded. I go to the bottom and I cut the edges, just a little corner off. Okay, now we go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is open it up. And I have a tube. Okay. Now I push my tube around so that the top peak of them matches on the front and the back. And I come on down and I make the cutout down there match. Now I want to be able to get my items out of the pocket. So what I'm going to do is cut the front down just a little bit. And this time I'm just going to cut and kind of go up to the cut that I already have there. Okay. And at the bottom, I'm going to cut another little slice, but this time it's going this way. Okay. We open it back up. Now, what I'm going to do is do a little distressing. I still have, this wasn't a very exciting print on the other side, but it still looks nice with my music notes showing. And then I'm just going to come on down the sides where the fold is. Don't have to worry about the peak there because that will disappear. And I want this to show a little bit more, so I'm going to put some distressing down here. Okay, now I've got this little peak down here. That makes it so I can fold the bottom up easier. This is pretty stiff cardstock, so I'm having to really push on it. Now let's see if I can put a little glue down here on my flap. Okay. Now, I'm going to let that sit there for a minute while I do something else. Now, I want some lace trim down the front of this, and I don't really care for the white. So I have some coffee over here that's been kind of sitting around for me to use. And this is cotton lace, so watch how fast it dyes my lace. There we go. And now I'm going to dry it by hand. And when I do, I'll get these real dark spots off because that's actually the grains from the coffee because it's been sitting around. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you my lace. Okay, what I'm doing now is taking my napkin and I'm just kind of wiping off my coffee. Now, if you had just made your coffee, it probably wouldn't have these grounds on it. But as I said, mine's been sitting around because I've been dyeing a bunch of things and wasn't able to do them all at one time. So that's why the grounds. But just wiping it off kind of helps to dry it too. But see how nice the cotton dyes and how quickly. In fact, this could be put back in and made just a little darker. Okay, my piece of lace has dried. I put while I was doing my lace, I put a clip on my bottom here to make it seal all the way and set up nicely. Okay, I'm going to take this piece of lace and I'm going to run it down the middle here of my pocket. And the best way to do that is to use my Xyron X. I use it for everything. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to measure from the top, from the peak to the inside to the bottom, and cut this extra piece off. And that will fit it nicely. I think I still want a little more distressing on this, especially near the top. And down this side. And then I hadn't distressed the bottom since I glued it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is take my tape. I wanted to see which side was the up side or the right side of my lace. Sometimes one side looks better than the other. So what I'm going to do here is run this through the Xyron. This will make it like a sticker. If you don't have a Xyron, I would say a Xyron X. If you don't have one of those, you really ought to get one because they're good for everything. It has a piece of plastic on top. Clear plastic, but sometimes it's hard to get. There we go. Now peel this off and put my lace on. There we go. That kind of dresses that up. Now, before I glue it down, I need something else on my page. And I could put her. Let's see. I think I've got a man here. This is my little bit of everything box. I've got this man. He could sit here. I think I will go with the little man. He looks like he might be the composer. And I'm going to put him down first because I'm going to let the pocket kind of sit over top of him, because the pocket has a tendency to lift up, especially if you put stuff in it, And if I put it on top, he's going to eventually pop up. So we're going to put the little man down first. This is my overall glue that I use, or adhesive. It's rubber cement, and it stays down well. I'm going to put him in the corner, just like that. I'm going to put my pocket on the, right above him. And as I said, don't forget, if you haven't seen the rest of my book of pockets, I've got a couple that are kind of unusual. Please go back and see them. Now this particular pocket, I got the idea from Pam at Paper Outpost. She has some great ideas for using cardstock or using book pages. Okay, here we go. I need to let it sit a while since there's a lot of pressure there. But, so you can see how it works, I could put this little lady inside my pocket. I could put, let's see what else I've got. Put this tag. And there we go. I have my pocket on here, and I think I need some little additional touch. So I'm going to put this flower on here. That kind of finishes off the pocket a little bit. And I need some little something up in the corner. And I'm not sure what I want, so I'll just look in my box of stuff. And in here I have this stamp. I have this stamp. I like this one better. So we'll put the little stamp on here. That kind of balances the page a little better. Okay, and here's my pocket. This is pocket G, and don't forget to go back and view pockets A through F, and come back and see what I have in store for you for next week. I want to finish out my book of pockets. I have added a little flower here. I thought it needed a little piece of embellishment, more embellishment, and I've added the stamp there. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget, please come back, subscribe, and have a great crafting day. Bye.